A few fly bites cannot stop a spirited horse. Homely truth is unpalatable. The gentle reader will never know what a consummate ass he can become until he goes abroad. Change is the handmaiden nature requires to do her miracles with. Optimist, daydreamer more elegantly spelled. Ignorant people think it is the noise which fighting cats make that is so aggravating, but it ain't so. It is the sickening grammar that they use. We are called the nation of inventors, and we could still claim that title and wear its loftiest honors if we had stopped with the first thing we ever invented, which was human liberty. Geological time is not money. My father was a Saint Bernard, my mother was a collie, but I'm a Presbyterian. Always obey your parents when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run, because if you don't, they will make you. Most parents think they know better than you do, and you can generally make more by humoring that superstition than you can by acting on your own better judgment. Give a man a reputation as an early riser, and he can sleep till noon. You don't know about me without you have read a book by the name of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but that ain't no matter. That book was made by a Mr. Mark Twain, and he told the truth mainly. Names are not always what they seem. The common Welsh name BZJXXLWCP is pronounced Jackson. Wherefore, being all of one mind, we do highly resolve that government of the grafted, by the grafter for the grafter, shall not perish from the earth. It is hopeless for the occasional visitor to try to keep up with Chicago. She outgrows his prophecies faster than he can make them. She is always a novelty, for she is never the Chicago you saw when you passed through the last time. When one has tasted watermelons, one knows what angels eat. It was not a southern watermelon that Eve took. We know it because she repented. Lord, save us all from a hope tree that has lost the faculty of putting out blossoms. The easy confidence with which I know another man's religion, his folly teaches me to suspect that my own is also. A sound heart is a surer guide than an ill-trained conscience. Not until you become a stranger to yourself will you be able to make acquaintance with the friend. Take your mind out every now and then and dance on it. It is getting all kicked up. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Except a creature be part coward, it is not a compliment to say it is brave. It is merely a loose application of the word. Consider the flea, incomparably the bravest of all the creatures of God, if ignorance of fear were courage. Thanksgiving Day. Let us all give humble, hearty, and sincere thanks now, but the turkeys. Switzerland would be a mighty big place if it were iron flat. A newspaper is not just for reporting the news as it is, but to make people mad enough to do something about it. Diligence is a good thing, but taking things easy is much more restful. Good breeding consists in concealing how much we think of ourselves and how little we think of the other person. We often feel sad in the presence of music without words, and often more than that in the presence of music without music. But the elastic heart of youth cannot be compressed into one constrained shape long at a time. The soul and substance of what customarily ranks as patriotism is moral cowardice, and always has been. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that is well. But also, she will never sit down on a cold one anymore. Tell the truth or trump, but get the trick. But I reckon I got to light out for the territory ahead of theirs, because Aunt Sally, she's going to adopt me and civilize me, and I can't stand it. I've been there before. Where a blood relation sobs, an intimate friend should choke up, a distant acquaintance should sigh, a stranger should merely fumble sympathetically with his handkerchief. At noon, I observed a bevy of nude young native women bathing in the sea, and I went and sat down on their clothes to keep them from being stolen. The Southerner talks music. My land, the power of training, of influence, of education. It can bring a body up to believe anything. The spirit of wrath, not the words, is the sin, and the spirit of wrath is cursing. We begin to swear before we can talk. It's awful undermining to the intellect, German is. You want to take it in small doses, or first you know your brains all run together, and you feel them flapping around in your head, same as so much drawn butter. In the small town of Hannibal, Missouri, when I was a boy, everybody was poor, but didn't know it, and everybody was comfortable, and did know it. Cold. If the thermometer had been an inch longer, we'd all have frozen to death. O Lord, our God, Help us to tear their soldiers to bloody shreds with our shells. Help us to cover their smiling fields with the pale forms of their patriot dead. Help us to drown the thunder of the guns with the shrieks of their wounded, writhing in pain. We had an abundance of mangoes, papayas, and bananas here, but the pride of the islands, the most delicious fruit known to men, chirimoya, was not in season. It has a soft pulp, like a pawpaw, and is eaten with a spoon. Humor is tragedy plus time.